In the heart of the city, where glass towers touched the clouds and million-dollar cars purred along spotless streets, there lived a man the world believed they knew. Desmond Kole, a billionaire, a visionary, the face of global business magazines. But while the world saw a king of empires, they never saw what happened when the suits came off. Because every Thursday night, this man, worth more than some nations, would vanish from penthouses and private jets and reappear in a worn janitor's uniform, mopping floors, scrubbing toilets, emptying trash bins in a rundown public school. No one asked why. No one cared to know, until the night his secret was forced into the light. And when the truth came out, it shook the world.
In the heart of the city, where skyscrapers glittered and luxury cars lined the streets, there lived a man the world knew simply as Mr. Desmond Kole. A billionaire by every standard, Kole owned a vast chain of tech companies, real estate empires, and even a private island off the coast of Seychelles. His face was often splashed across business magazines. He dined with presidents, funded global charities, and was praised as one of the greatest minds of his generation. But Desmond Kole had a secret, one that not even his closest associates knew. Every Thursday evening, when the city settled into the lull of twilight and the stock market had closed for the day, Desmond would trade his tailored suits for a janitor's uniform. He would remove his Rolex, cover his face with an old baseball cap, and drive himself in an unmarked van to a modest public high school on the city's outskirts, Melville Community School. There, he worked quietly through the night, sweeping halls, emptying trash cans, scrubbing bathrooms, and mopping dusty floors. He rarely spoke unless spoken to. To the staff and students who occasionally glimpsed him, he was just a Mr. K, the quiet night janitor who showed up like clockwork once a week. Why would a billionaire do this? Why would someone with power, influence, and unimaginable wealth choose to clean toilets when he could be sipping wine on a yacht? The answer was rooted in a past he never shared. Desmond Kole was not born into wealth. He was raised by a single mother, a cleaner at Melville Community School, the very same school he now served as a janitor. As a boy, Desmond would wait in the school supply closet every evening, reading borrowed books by flashlight while his mother scrubbed floors until midnight. She couldn't afford a babysitter, so the school became his second home. Though poor, Desmond had a mind that devoured knowledge. He would sneak into classrooms, read forgotten textbooks, and listen through the vents to teachers giving extra lessons. His mother, despite her exhaustion, always whispered the same words before he fell asleep: "No matter how small you start, son, always work with dignity. And never forget where you came from." Years later, after scholarships, tireless nights coding from cafes, and launching a revolutionary education app, Desmond's life changed forever. He went from unknown tech nerd to billionaire entrepreneur. But he never forgot the mop his mother pushed or the tears she hid when they had no food. And so, in her honor, he began living a secret life. The school and the people. Melville Community School was still the same, underfunded, ignored, crumbling at the edges. Teachers were overworked, and students came from struggling families. It broke Desmond's heart to see the system still failing those who needed help the most. While he donated anonymously to keep the school afloat, he knew money alone wouldn't fix everything. That's why he returned, not as a boss, not as a guest speaker, but as a janitor. To observe. To listen. To stay connected to reality. He noticed everything. He saw which students hid behind silence. Which teachers stayed late despite unpaid overtime. He fixed broken lockers without being asked. Replaced light bulbs. Bought cleaning supplies from his pocket. No one knew his true identity, and he liked it that way. Being invisible gave him the clearest view of what mattered. But secrets, no matter how noble, eventually unravel. One rainy Thursday, the school faced an emergency. A faulty electrical wire sparked a fire in the science lab. The students had already gone home, but a teacher and 2 janitors were still inside. Panic erupted. While others called for help, Mr. K ran into the smoke, pulling out the trapped janitors and guiding the teacher to safety. The local news captured the scene. And though he tried to keep his cap low, a student who stayed behind to help recognized him. Within hours, social media exploded. Billionaire Desmond Kole saves lives in school fire, disguised as janitor. The world was stunned. How could a man worth billions be mopping floors in secret? At first, Desmond denied nothing. He simply smiled and said, "Some things you do for money. Others you do for meaning." When the truth came out, everything changed, but not in the way you'd expect. Rather than being mocked or questioned, Desmond was admired even more. His story inspired a global movement, CEOs volunteering as janitors and workers, millionaires funding schools hands-on, and youth realizing that humility and greatness could walk side by side. Desmond continued to support Melville, but now, openly. He still wore the janitor uniform every Thursday, only now, the students would wave and say, "Thank you." He built a new wing for the school and named it after his mother. Yet, his routine never changed. He never stopped scrubbing, sweeping, or cleaning. Because for him, it wasn't about image. It was about grounding. About remembering the boy in the supply closet and the mother who taught him that dignity is not in your wealth, but in your work. Desmond Kole's story is a powerful reminder that greatness is not measured by titles or trophies, but by character. In a world obsessed with status, he chose service. In a life filled with luxury, he found meaning in a mop. And so, every Thursday night, long after the headlines faded, the billionaire janitor still swept the halls of Melville School, not for applause, but for purpose.